Hello, you are Yashin.
Good afternoon.
Hello, it's lovely to speak to you here today on YMCA Digital. Yeah. Okay, so how are you feeling? It's pre-show nerves at Rock City. What's the vibe like in backstage and everything?
It's pretty chilled, man. Today's the last day. Obviously, we've done these 4 small release shows, and this is the last day. So I think we just pretty chilled, and it's always kind of chilled on the last day. We feel good. We've all eaten now, and we're just chilling. Just gonna start getting ready soon. And
Still buzzing from last night, man. We
Yeah.
played London last night. It's always nice taking a beat in the capital city. And,
Right.
yeah, that was unreal.
It's like London seems to be the congregation of our entire collective fan base from all corners of the globe, you know.
Mhm.
We had people there from France, Denmark, Belgium,
Wow.
Germany. People travel from Scotland, obviously that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we come from, so it was amazing. But we always have a good time in Nottingham, so we've got a lot of fond memories of this venue in particular. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
So you mentioned that people come from all over sort of the continent and that kind of thing. Do you ever go abroad to I mean, obviously, because you say you've only done 4 shows at the moment, so like this year, do you plan on going abroad and stuff like that to meet your wider fan base?
We've toured over in Europe a bunch of times, and our album, we're primarily signed to Sony Germany. Obviously, we have Century Media here, which is also Sony, but we've been out there a bunch of times. Been out there with Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit, Black Veil Brides. But yeah, we plan to go out there this year because our album's come out, so we want to go all over Europe. We'd like to go over to Japan because our album's getting released there. We'd like to go to Australia. It's dropping there as well. So we're going to try and go to as many places as we can.
You mentioned all the people that you've supported. I was going to mention this later, but why not now that you've brought it up? Papa Roach, I read on your Wikipedia page that's the kind of music that you grew up loving. So to support, them, that must have been fantastic. Talk about your other inspirations. What was it about them when you finally got to supporting them? What was the feeling like? Was it like, wow, this is real now?
I think it's maybe quite cliched, but they were the band who we grew up with, their posters on our walls, and to be out on tour with a band who have such a wealth of experience in this industry was incredible. They were such genuine people, and it's a friendship which has been continued over the last few years. Whenever those guys roll into town, they're the first people to send us a message and find out what we're doing and try and get involved. They were it was such a steep learning curve for us as a young band to go out and tour with like such a band really at the height. It was just amazing. I think that's probably the biggest thing about it. Was just like that. It was genuine. Like a lot of guys in bands don't like to talk about music when they're out, and there's a genuine connection there between Harry and Jacoby and myself and Jerry and the rest of the guys around things which don't particularly involve music, so it was nice to actually get out and make some friends in the real world, which is awesome.
And obviously, you were a support act then, so you're there to support them. But I mean, you can't help but feel, well, they're supporting us because their fans are coming to see them. Especially people like Limp Bizkit as well, huge worldwide act. This must be a boost for us. Do you get that kind of feeling when you're supporting these kind of acts?
Yeah.
Do you kind of feel like, this is really helping us?
Yeah, for some acts, for sure. Like when we went out with Black Veil Brides, and Papa Roach, those sort of crowds, they welcomed us with open arms, and a lot of our fan base is from touring with bands like that. Bands like Limp Bizkit are very, their fan base is very nostalgic and only really care about Limp Bizkit and have not a lot of time for anything else. They're kind of like a nostalgia band, whereas Papa Roach have, with each record, they still are a current band. People, their albums still go in the top 20 or the top 10 across the world, whereas Limp Bizkit, people
they haven't released an album in 8, 9 years or something.
So it was quite we didn't get even though it was amazing to tour with Bizkit and we had an amazing time with them. That was quite a hard crowd to play to. Because of those reasons, but all other tours that we've done have been amazing and done incredible things for the band.
Okay, I'm going to move on a bit now. Yashin, the name. What's behind that? Because was it just kind of a thing that was
It's such
sucked
a
out of...
stupid story, man. Our guitarist Paul Travers, who in that school was called the Trev, and then people started to call him Trev Lev, and Lev Yashin was the name of the goalkeeper, the Russian goalkeeper. He was the first ever player to be awarded the first ever player awarded the Golden Boot award.
And he just liked the name Yashin. It's like a cool name.
I think
and it also means ambition in Japanese, which is
I
pretty
think that was a byproduct of it. One of the things that Paul will always say is that a band like Burn the Crimson Tide, like there's no ambiguity over what kind of music that band's going to play. You know, you can't hear them on Radio 1 and say, oh, I wonder what kind of music these guys play. Yashin's a name which just, it could be anything. It could be a wedding band, or it could be a deathcore band, you know. It's just one of those names that doesn't really speak volumes in any way, shape or form. So.
And do you like that?
Definitely.
That's why you stuck with it.
I think the band kind of covers a real broad spectra of genres, and the fact that our name's so blah just kind of simplifies that, you know.
Do you think that represents you as a music act? Because I would argue that your genre is quite varied. I mean, obviously there's a lot of signs of sort of heavy kind of stuff in there, but I mean, listening to especially your earlier albums, it's different because there's some tracks on there, and it's like, well, hang on, this doesn't sound like them at all. Do you think that's why Yashin is so representative of you? Because it's kind of very varied.
We've always been a varied band, and some people don't know how to take that, and particularly industry, when people come to like reviewing or critiquing. Obviously, like it doesn't play by their rules or things that they're used to. So, you know, whatever. Like, we just write what we like because we're influenced by so many different bands. You know, Kev loves bands like heavier bands, and he likes bands like Avenged Sevenfold, and he likes Machine Head and Metallica and things. And then I like bands like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. You know, things on opposite spectrums, and we just have found a way to mesh everything together and make that work. And some people who are so, I don't know, opinionated or self-important or whatever, like, oh, you can't do that, or that's not, you know, but people are entitled to their opinion, to people that are like that, but it obviously evokes reactions from people. Some people love it and some people really don't like it, but
there must be something in their brain that just triggers, thinks, I don't like that this sounds disjointed, whereas we don't write an album, we write songs and then make that an album. So the songs which are on this album are built up collectively over material which we've written over a period of maybe 3 years. So some of the stuff sounds 3 years ago, it's because it's 3 years ago, but the songs stand up for themselves, you know, they can be counted. And it just gives people that variation. That's the kind of album that I would have wanted to listen to. Their name's a bad word these days, but Lost Prophets wrote great albums back in the day, you know, and they were varied. They had everything from like real heavy stuff down to like real commercial tunes, and that's the kind of like style of album that we've got now, is a collection of songs as opposed to one continuous piece of music where you can't tell the difference between one track and the next, you know.
So, and do you think, is that a subconscious thing that you do? Do you not realise that you're doing that? Do you just kind of think we're working towards something that will release in a few years' time, or do you kind of think that you do that for an effect?
I think it changed in this album, because before we created a monster, I think we crawled over the finish line. Like, we literally wrote the 12th song and made the cut for the album, and that was it. Whereas this time we actually wrote like somewhere in the region of maybe 18 songs and picked the best 12 to put out on the album and kept the rest aside for B-sides and stuff like that. But there's some really strong songs.
We did just write it song by song though. Like, it wasn't like you asked, it wasn't like we set out to do that, like, so it was just done song by song. It wasn't like, let's think of the big picture, we should have a slow one or a heavy one or things like that. It was just done song by song. If we didn't like something, we'd move on from it, and if we did like something, we'd stick with it and make it work.
Okay, so what are the plans for the future? Do you think that I mean, obviously, naturally, you'll change as a band in sound and all sorts. But are you happy with the kind of thing you've got at the moment? Is there anything else that you feel you could get out of it? Is there any other audiences you think you could reach out to? Are you happy with where you are?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Like, see, at the end of the day, as long as the 6 guys who are in this band are happy, that's the most important thing. See if anybody else wants to come along for the ride, then like jump on board. But we're not here to make targets or like meet people's expectations. That's not what this band's all about. We write the music that we want to hear, and if people are into it, then that's cool. For us just now, the next step is to start writing and making steps towards album number 4. Like I said, this album was ready to go like almost a year ago, you know. So we've already started making steps to get a new album ready.
That'll be no time soon though, honestly. We're going to tour the hell out of this because we've not toured.
It's strange because everyone's like, we are like completely blown away by the response to the record which has just come out. It charted at number 11 in the UK rock charts. It's a step up from the last album, you know. And everybody's like really like dying to hear all the songs off this record. It's nice for us to like play some fresh material, but we're like ready to take strides and move forward again, you know. So 2016 is going to be a busy year for us as a band, so just need to see what's around the corner for us.
And I mean, obviously you've mentioned it a few times in the interview. Do you think this is the year where you go and tour quite a lot?
That's what we want to do, man. But we've had, you know, with Sony and things like that, we've had a lot of changes recently. Behind the scenes, you know, people that work with us and who don't work with us anymore. So obviously we want to tour. That's all we want to do. But it's gotten to a stage now where it's not really in our hands and up to us how much we tour, even though we would happily tour 300 days of the year, you know. But the plan is, of course, to tour, and all our team know that because we just released a record, so you have to go out there and promote the record.
Yeah.
So we're just saying, there's nothing concrete right now, but there's plans everywhere in place.
Well, we'd love to see you back in Nottingham sometime soon. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Thank you.